Great. Hello, everyone. Today I'm here with Stephan Keller from Sodexis, Inc., from the United States, who is one of Odoo's gold partners. Stephan, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Uh, sure. So I started the company back in 2006, and right from the start, we started working with open source software. We started with another software which at the time was very popular, which was Compare. But then after a few years, we realized that it was sort of dying, unfortunately, and we sort of at that time, back in 2011, rediscovered Odoo. We knew about Odoo at the very beginning when it was still called Tiny ERP, and we rediscovered Odoo at that time, and we thought that it had a great community behind it. We also discovered that it had a very good framework and great leadership, which is very important as well.
Absolutely.
Both in Belgium with Fabien and in the US with Fabrice. And so we decided to switch our whole team to start working with Odoo.
Okay. And how many members do you have on your team?
At this point, we have about 15 developers, system admins, graphic designers, and of course business analysts.
Okay. And all working exclusively on Odoo?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Odoo is really the main product that we work with. We will also work with other open source software,
Right.
but always in the context of Odoo. So
Right.
for example, we'll provide support for Magento if it's part of an Odoo project. Okay?
Right.
So we won't take a Magento project only.
And that's actually a very interesting point, because you'd mentioned that you would prefer to work only with open source technology. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right at the beginning when I started the company, I looked at different options, and really the only option that was a valid option for me was to use open source software, just from the point of view of being able to deliver what the customer needs.
Right.
Okay? So with other proprietary softwares, when it's not there, often, well, it's not there, okay? Whereas with open source, we have access to the source code, and so whenever the customer asks me, can I do this, can I do that, I always tell them, we can do it, okay? The question really is, how much time is going to take? Is this really a good return on investment for you?
Right, and do you really, how much they really need it, basically?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Once we start putting within the framework of return on investment, okay, it really helps the customer to evaluate, whether it makes sense or not. So for example, we'll come back with solution A, which might be 2 days of work. Here's the list of features you're gonna get. Solution B might be 5 days of work.
Right.
Here's the extra features that you're gonna get, and then the customer, based on the return on investment they see, then they can decide what's the best solution for them.
Okay, that's interesting. So it gives you, with having the open source framework, gives you like a flexibility to offer different solutions or customized solutions, basically.
Correct. We can always say yes. I mean, so I always tell the customers that no matter what you're going to ask me, I'm going to be able to say yes. Okay, but there is the work associated with that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And speaking of customers, actually one of your customers today was presented at the Odoo Experience. Could you, Lab Society, could we discuss about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I was very excited about that opportunity when I realized that the customer, wanted to come to the Odoo Experience. I approached Odoo, and we discussed the different options. Odoo had already done a video of the customer, so they had sent a team to visit the customer, so there was already the video available. And then, much to my surprise, they decided to have the customer as one of the keynotes.
Great.
And, I think it went very well. And, I think, based on the return, I saw, afterwards people approaching the customers, and it actually, I think, encouraged other customers to also, decide that they're going to go forward.
Okay, well that's a good sign. Everyone motivating everyone. But
yes.
And one more thing actually I wanted to discuss with you was your history with Odoo, because you've been with Odoo, like you mentioned, since it was Tiny ERP.
Yes.
From then to today, how have you seen it evolving?
Well, tremendous, changes. Okay, I mean, to be honest, when I looked at Teeny ERP back in 2006, I thought it was too small. Okay?
Hence tiny.
No pun intended. Well, pun intended, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then when I rediscovered Odoo, I was amazed by at how much it had evolved. Okay, and I think the main thing here is that the framework is so good. Okay, so Fabien spent so much time on setting up the right framework. Okay, but once that has been established, and once he found the right business model that goes along with the open source, model, which is very difficult to find, by the way. I think that's probably why Compare failed at the end of the day. That they had problems, finding, what was the right business model. But in this case, Odoo has found the right business model, and that's sort of add fuel to the fire. Okay.
Right.
And I see at this point, I see exponential growth. Okay. Of Odoo.
All right. And going forward, are you saw the keynote of Fabien yesterday, imagine, and today as well. How do you feel about the future of Odoo?
Well, the announcement of V12 yesterday was really amazing, and I can give you the example of the reaction of my customer. I think that's even better than my own reaction. Okay. They saw the features like the document management system and the automation of a invoice processing system and things like that. And right away they turned around and they said, Stephan, we're going to move to V12.
Excellent, okay.
And even, for example, right now, the e-commerce is managed on WooCommerce. Okay? And so we have a connector, and I've been talking with them about, bringing it into Odoo, but they were somewhat hesitant, and now they just want to do it. Okay. So I think that's the best, that I can say.
Best reaction to it.
Best reaction I can give you about
Excellent. That. Okay. Thank you very much, Stephan. I hope to see you again next year for Odoo Experience.
Yes, absolutely. I think next year is going to be my 6th year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking forward. I know I'll be here, and
excellent.
I'm sure we'll discover yet new features amazing new features in Odoo.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much.